DJ Envy, he's a too.
Envy did it too?
Envy's man. Pussy. He was scared of you.
From Nicki Minaj calling him out for his past power plays to Rick Ross turning car show shade into personal digs, these rappers took zero disrespect and made sure everyone knew it.
Support each other more. You know, Charlamagne and I was talking behind the scenes early, and it was like, without people sometimes, oh, nah, I can't do that. Oh, nah, that's not going to happen. And I feel like that's a problem in our community.
That gets told and that kind of keeps us separate. But you come to places like Atlanta, New York, man, I see us working.
The whole DJ Envy situation is absolutely wild, isn't it? How many beefs can one person rack up before saying, all right, maybe I need to chill out? You'd think someone with his public experience would have learned to let things slide, but no. DJ Envy seems determined to address every slight, critique, and bit of shade thrown his way. Don't get me wrong, standing up for yourself is important, but there's a difference between defending your name and diving into drama just for the sake of it.
You know, a lot of us don't have the knowledge, and with me doing the real estate more and more and more, and I think that's what we need to do as people is teach that knowledge.
Yes,
you know, where you try to teach them how to invest and what to do, and even me and you, and also heavy in the like when I go to Atlanta this weekend, I'm not only going to DJ, I'm going to look at properties. I'm going to look at. I think that's what we need to do more as a community.
Absolutely. My wife.
Meanwhile, Killer Mike comes in like a breath of fresh air, dropping wisdom and focusing on the bigger picture. He's out here tackling real issues that matter, elevating the conversation and making an impact. In stark contrast, DJ Envy looks like he's made it a full-time job to juggle beefs while squeezing in Instagram flexes between squabbles. Killer Mike's energy is about progress and substance, while DJ Envy seems caught in an endless loop of petty arguments, unable to escape.
In those schools is unlike anything that I ever got in my life, which gives him that advantage.
If you're in an area where your children are being treated hostilely, you a rich, you got that a working class black parent is who's living in Sumter, who's living in Atlanta or Gwinnett.
It's been hostile. It's been hostile.
Being called niggas when your dad got a Ferrari just don't hurt as much. Good argument, but rich, and you cannot take that away. And my question...
And here's the thing. Why does DJ Envy feel the need to defend every single thing? Sometimes silence is the most powerful move you can make. Not every comment deserves a rebuttal. By now, you'd think he'd realize that engaging in every feud just pours fuel on the fire and gives his critics more attention. Yet, it's like he has a reflexive clapback button. Something happens, and bam, before you know it, he's in a new feud. Honestly, it's exhausting to follow, and it's probably just as exhausting to live through.
Turned out to be a DJ and a real estate investor. You didn't have to go to college. Not an entrepreneur too, and I am, right? We both got millions of dollars of property. We both do cool shit. And what you chose to pursue, black people, your children are going...
What's even crazier is how some of these so-called beefs feel entirely manufactured. Half the time, it seems like these conflicts are just for show, a way to grab headlines or rack up clicks. It's like, who can I pick a fight with today to stay trending? And sure, that strategy works to some extent. Drama sells and the internet thrives on it. But at what cost? You can't help but wonder if all this noise is really worth it in the long run.
There for a better education, but the same telling me how much they paid for college. You're not directing your children to Howard, not you. You're not directing your children to Howard or Morehouse. You're telling them for 5-6 years, you done been called a you done got to be proud of nothing about yourself. It just teaches you how to take tests well and how to participate and coordinate.
Let's be honest. Most of these beefs resemble playground squabbles more than actual conflicts, except now they're accessorized with luxury cars and expensive sneakers, the posturing, the endless back and forth. It's also theatrical, like a reality show we never signed up for but can't help watching. There's an odd entertainment factor to it, even though it's frustrating to see people with so much influence wasting their energy on trivial disputes instead of meaningful work.
The streets by 7 o'clock, if you ain't ever gonna keep, the schools seem better because you buying into that. Why historically black colleges and universities? That's where our heroes went. That's where they came from. You understand what I'm saying? I don't have no problems with you loving your children. But my children go to public. Either you're going to choose to be excellent and you're going to do better, or you're going to sit your chump down and you're going to keep...
And maybe that's the whole point. Maybe this is all part of the game, a calculated way to keep people talking about them, whether for their brands, their shows, or their music. After all, controversy sells, and the entertainment world is built on it.
I'm telling you, light skin, I'm getting your feelings, but I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about working class people.
Are not getting paid or overworked, and some of them are not putting the effort out.
My mom been a public school teacher for 30 years.
Some DJs under the bus is wrong. You are wrong.
Yeah, you can't throw public school teachers.
But for someone like DJ Envy, who's been in the industry for so long, you'd think he'd want to pivot towards something more meaningful. Why not focus on creating a legacy that's remembered for impact, not just internet feuds?
Elliot has been one of those people who are used to be the mouthpiece for others. I didn't respond. I kept it moving. But then I dropped an album. Man, if you wanted an interview, you could have asked. Disrespecting me, idiot Wilson. I feel that y'all have this power. Oh, I didn't know he came on Drake. I must have missed it.
DJ Envy really has a knack for finding himself smack in the middle of drama, doesn't he? It's like the guy's got a built-in beef radar. One day he's backing up DJs like he's the superhero of the turntables, and the next he's catching strays from Nicki Minaj over some ancient mess. Let's not sugarcoat it. He did blackball her, even if he's trying to rewrite history now. We all saw it, Envy.
He should be able to have an opinion. He is a hip-hop journalist. He started from Sauce to XXL to the things. Even if we think his opinion is trash, he can have his opinion.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you're saying something, because shit happened. What was the reason behind it, though? Because we know Nicki does not forget anything.
I don't forget.
Actually, last week. But
that's me.
What happened?
No, that was me. I played it in the mix.
That was me. That was me.
The funniest part is how he acts like it's all water under the bridge. Newsflash, Nicki Minaj doesn't forget, and she definitely doesn't forgive. She's probably got a whole archive of receipts ready to drop whenever she feels like it. And honestly, she's not wrong to call him out. Envy pulled that power trip over some DJ solidarity nonsense, and now it's circling back to bite him. Did he really think he could play those games and Nicki wouldn't eventually clap back? Be serious.
Like 5-6 years ago, I guess DJ Self, who's a DJ on the station, and Nicki Minaj at the time got upset and said she was sending some Queens dudes up here. You can't threaten that man for his opinion. Now, if he says some foul-ish about don't like your album or I feel away, and you threaten him, I just find that's whack. And I ride for the DJs, meaning the DJs are always the one that gets picked on, that gets beat up.
What's even more baffling is how Envy still frames himself as the guy taking the moral high ground. I ride for the DJs, he says, like that excuses everything. Bro, we get it, but maybe reconsider starting unnecessary wars over petty opinions. It's not that deep. Artists and DJs have had their spats for years, but pulling someone's music from rotation because your ego's bruised, that's next level petty. Let's not pretend it was about heroics. It was about flexing power, plain and simple.
Like, if you think of beefs, an artist never goes at the other artist. They always say, well, why the DJ played the record? I was like, that's not right. I'm not going to let you just threaten a DJ because he had an opinion.
Right. So
I'm not going to play Nicki's record until they squash that beef. I just said I don't want to because you threaten that man on an opinion.
Yeah.
DJ's getting slapped like you've seen him already.
Yeah.
And that's not right.
And then there's Nicki. Say what you want about her, but she's always ready to stand her ground, and honestly, I respect it. Envy tried to downplay her influence back in the day, and now she's making sure he feels the sting. Maybe next time, he'll think twice before flexing his DJ muscles at the expense of an artist's career. But let's be real, knowing Envy, this probably isn't the last feud he'll wade into.
Envy used to love that one behind the scenes.
I played all the
No, you did blackball her.
Do is not
You
play her in my mix. My mix is a 11-minute mix.
Did you not beige ball her, or did you beige?
when do grow up?
He never grows up.
I know. Why you on your side? I know you're not
talking about for the DJ because nobody ever does. Just like during COVID when everybody was standing up for
their own tribe.
Exactly.
And it's fine. And then like you said,
Envy doesn't just find drama, he seems to live for it, and honestly, it's exhausting to keep up with. But hey, it keeps people talking about him, and maybe that's all he really wants.
Like, I always describe beef the same way like most dudes have been outside describe beef. It's like, yo, bro, if you're not trying to kill me, we don't got beef.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Like, homie, I'm like, bro, your pops is a cop. He's not a regular cop. He a white shirt cop. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he's a cap.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like, bro, I'm not gonna.
Why
You feel me? Like, if you watch that clip, I'm just gripping the mic because I'm just trying to like it's a stress ball. Because in my head, I'm like, bro, snuff this, bro. This trying to play you right now. Yo, jump across this table and knock this out right now. That's what's going through my head. You can see it. Like, you can see the wheels turning.
Damn.
This is like, yo, I'm sorry. And I'm looking at this like, that. Like, I'm sorry.
Family should always be off limits, especially when petty arguments spill onto public platforms. That whole jab about someone's dad being a cop, completely unnecessary and irrelevant. Like, I don't, what does that even have to do with anything? If you've got a beef, focus on the actual issue, not dragging people's families into it. It's such a cheap, tired move, attacking someone's family when you're out of real points to make. Seriously, who still does that?
I don't find my family talked about funny.
Right.
So I just didn't, just didn't decide.
But they apologize on the air.
Correct.
But then afterwards, their actions are a little different.
That's true. Yeah, I guess on the show, after when they had their show, he said something that I was gonna slap the out of Envy, and Envy, you could suck my from the back. That's what I think he said, something like that. And then I think on Mav Hoffish, I watched it today. He said something to the fact that I said that because it was the most disrespectful thing to show Envy that I wanted to smoke.
The fire is relit. Yes?
No, there's no fire relit.
Oh, so you cool with him?
This is how I honestly look at it. You say, I apologize. We leave it at there, it's done. Then you leave, the interview airs, then when it changes, then you go on a tour, whatever Envy tour, and you on me all day long. How do I respect?
And then there's DJ Envy trying to squash the situation like an adult, only to have these dudes go on their unofficial Envy tour, talking smack behind his back after apologizing. Really? If you say the issue is squashed, let it stay squashed. It's like they're just waiting for the next chance to throw shade, probably hoping to stir up drama for clout. If you have a problem, say it to his face in the moment, not months later, hiding behind a mic. This isn't middle school, but they sure act like it sometimes.
Respect that.
All right, so Envy, where do you stand now?
No, I mean, I don't got no problems with them brothers. I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, they came on the show. I expressed how I felt. They didn't, they said what they said, and I thought it was done. Then when they got back on their program, they went on the FMV tour and, invited me to his genitals and all that other stuff. I just thought it was corny because if you have a problem, you say it to somebody's face.
But now it's not seeming like he doesn't have a problem with you though, right?
No, we don't have a problem. I guess people just asked about old information. I mean, we've seen each other at CC Sabathia's baseball game. We squashed it out, and I wish nothing but best for those brothers. But that's what happened, and that's how I felt at that time. And I guess they asked him about it, how he felt, and I told everybody how I felt.
He said the same thing.
That said, when DJ Envy walked out of the whole conversation, I honestly understood where he was coming from. Everyone has a breaking point, and sometimes you're just done with the nonsense. Why waste energy on something so pointless when you've already addressed it and made your peace? Dragging things out only adds unnecessary stress, and then you've got Charlamagne and Angela laughing on the sidelines, stirring the pot even further. It's frustrating to watch, let alone deal with. At some point, you have to decide if it's worth sticking around for the back and forth, or if it's time to prioritize your peace.
I mean, my pops was not a captain. That was actually my uncle, but my pops is retired police officer. He actually did undercover work, but when you start mentioning people's families and things like that, that is just whack. I'm not from that era. I'm from the era of if you have a problem with me, you direct it to me. You don't direct my wife. You don't direct my pops. I don't direct anybody's wife or family or kids. I just don't do that because we can all go down that angle. And that's all I said. And I've been saying that for the last 12 years on this radio. And if not, I'm going to ask you. I'm going to approach you. I'm just from the place of if I have a problem with you, I'm going to say it to your face. And then I say it to your face, it's done, and that's it. That's all that is.
I do like how you said we can all go down that angle.
Charlamagne and Angela, they were just being themselves, always lighthearted, rarely taking anything seriously. But for Envy, it was clear he'd hit his limit, and I can't blame him for walking out. Sometimes you've got to protect your peace, especially when the people around you seem more interested in keeping the drama alive than actually resolving it. Why keep entertaining negativity when you're ready to move forward? At some point, it's not about winning the argument, it's about maintaining your sanity. In that moment, walking away was Envy's way of saying he was done, and honestly, I respect that.
How do you go down an angle, Envy?
Go down what angle?
How do you go down an angle, Envy? How do you go down?
Tell me.
I don't want to know. I just like how you said it. It sounded fly. Like
no, I'm just saying, like whatever it is, we go down any road we want to go down. But that's how
I don't like
am
that.
as
I like
a person.
I like when you say you go down somebody's ankle. That's
how I am as a person. Like win, lose, or draw, I'm gonna come to you. I'm gonna come right to your face. I don't care.
Oh my God, Envy. Okay, let's move on because now you're talking about splashing people's faces.
If you want to come,
that's how I think every man should be. If you have a problem.
But here's the real kicker: this could have been squashed ages ago if everyone had just stuck to their word and moved on. Instead, people keep taking jabs and acting like they're somehow above the situation while continuing to feed into it. Real mature, right? The way DJ Envy made it clear he's not here for the drag families era is probably the most relatable part of this entire mess. Some lines just shouldn't be crossed, and it seems like a few people missed that memo.
And that's the reason why I walked out the interview right there, because Charlamagne and Angela Yee takes nothing serious.
Yes, so your fault. You out here talking about you go down, you got to go down people's ankles, and then you was like, if you got a problem with a man, you come in his face. I don't know. Like, what the hell? What am I supposed to think of that?
What is wrong with you?
This guy is crazy.
Okay.
At this point, it's almost like Envy thrives on finding the next feud to jump into. While his approach might keep his name in conversations, it's hard not to wonder if it's worth all the headaches. Sometimes choosing peace isn't just a smarter move, it's the only move.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club.
Thank you.
Now, Mr. Rock,
should I be interviewing you? Because you're the hot one, right?
Sure, everyone has their moments, but this guy, he's collecting beefs like they're trophies in some bizarre competition.
Did he stuck around today?
He went to Africa when you came last time.
Y'all had a slight rich people problem.
Against each other. Envy was the coach of his daughter's basketball team. So I commend that was, like this kid had like 60 points, and normally compassionate individuals take the good kid out.
You can't help but think he must have been sweating after things escalated. So what does he do? He apologizes, which is commendable in theory, but let's be real. If you're going to start something, at least have the guts to see it through. You can't toss out shade and then backpedal when the heat turns up. It's like throwing a punch and then saying, let's talk this out right after.
Get in.
For no reason.
For no
That is
reason.
very rude, and that's not nice to the
Why
other.
would you do that, Envy?
Yeah.
Right? And the kids went up to Chris Rock and asked for an autograph.
No.
The game.
Yeah,
you
sound
did.
alternative.
The day before.
You
No.
sound like Donald Trump
After
right now.
the game, no, I did not give it.
And we blew them out.
But that has nothing to do with the young lady.
And then there's the whole saga with him coaching his daughter's basketball team like it's Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Bro, chill out and let the kids play. Keeping your star player in when you're already up by 40 points, that's not just intense, it's petty. Of course, Chris Rock called him out for it, but Envy didn't seem to care. He's the kind of guy who will leave his best player on the court just to make a point. No mercy, even for the kids.
So you admit you were wrong.
You being beige.
I was wrong.
It was like literally, they beat us by like 40 points. They deserve to feel bad that day about something. The sins of the father are passed down to the sons and the
All of that for no reason.
You came in here being petty for no damn reason.
At this point, he's like that one friend who can't resist escalating every situation. A minor disagreement, boom, instant beef. Someone looks at him funny, another feud added to the list. It doesn't even feel like it's about winning anymore. It's just about keeping the pot stirred. Drama seems to fuel him, almost like it's become part of his brand.
It was a learning lesson. It was fun.
Oh my
I
God.
haven't seen you getting pulled over in that neighborhood.
I ran out of film. They don't even have film anymore. But I ran out of film. Anything. They just like getting me. I mean, one cop pulled me over one time. He goes, no cop can afford this.
And you have to admit, for better or worse, he does keep things interesting, especially when Rick Ross enters the picture. Their back and forths are practically legendary at this point, with each one trying to outdo the other in pettiness. It's like a never-ending reality show we didn't ask for but can't stop watching.
What's up, y'all?
So Charlamagne says that the me and Rick Ross thing went too far.
I think both of y'all have gone too far. You know what I mean? But you know it.
But it was never about who had the best car show. We were just talking cars because I'm from New York.
About the car show.
Older cars and new cars. Not even about the show.
Well, it started with the car show
because I said cars.
Aren't you and Envy battling with
and
the car
he said
show?
I'm not on Envy's not on my level.
That's right.
Which
This whole DJ Envy and Rick Ross beef has gotten completely out of hand, don't you think? What started as a fun, lighthearted back and forth about car shows has spiraled into something way too personal. Talking about family? That's a hard line you just don't cross, period. How do you go from flexing about cars to dragging in people's kids and personal lives? At this point, it's not about cars or car shows anymore. It's a battle of egos. Pure, over-the-top, ego-fueled nonsense.
He was joking.
He was joking.
He said he was joking. He was like, yeah, Envy's my
Yeah.
guy. And then he just kept going too far. Now you're belittling my show, and I never belittled your show. I never belittle anybody's show out there.
Yeah.
I always say there's a difference. The reason I do the car shows is because I remember as a kid, we couldn't afford to go to a lot of places because my parents couldn't afford it. Carnival games, there's gaming trucks, there's, Monster brings the bikes. But once you start stabbing at my show, I stab back.
Mm-hmm.
And then when
But it's not about the shows no more is what I'm saying.
Correct.
Rick Ross, for all his charm, really went overboard. The man's out here talking about DJ Envy's backyard as if that's some sort of insult. Seriously? You've got millions in the bank, a sprawling mansion, and countless businesses, and this is what you're focused on? A man's backyard? That's next level petty. And let's not forget the whole Wingstop worker jab. Sure, it got some laughs, but come on. It feels like Ross is just reaching for cheap shots now. A little friendly banter is fine, but this went way beyond that too much line, turning the whole thing into something corny and unnecessary.
And listen, man, I don't want to see nothing stupid happen.
It takes away from the
damn car
families.
show.
And you start saying, oh, you got 7 kids,
It's
you
the
can mop
kids,
my
it's the
floor,
personal.
and your
That's
girl
it.
could mop me. Because I'm not a rapper, I don't have to do a diss record. I can do this all day long.
Yeah.
On the other side, You've got DJ Envy trying to keep his composure, but honestly, who wouldn't clap back at this point? There's only so much you can take before you start throwing punches, figuratively of course, and then bringing 50 Cent into the mix, that's a whole new level of messy. We all know 50 isn't one to stay quiet when the drama gets spicy. Adding him to this equation feels like throwing gasoline on a fire that's already blazing. This could blow up in ways nobody's ready for.
You think I went too far, Vel?
No, I think Ricky Rose was his boy, and yeah, that was a little bit too much.
Seems a little obsessed, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Pay their wings, stop workers, so
he might have just
wanted too good.
Oh my God,
that is true. He just wanted pool clean, didn't he?
Hello,
damn, man.
What's up, bro? What's your thoughts?
Yo, this is LOS from Georgia. Rick Ross is an absolute sucker for hating on Envy. Envy is a family man. Street champ and attack Envy is a straight sucker move. He's lonely. Ross is jealous of Envy life for one. Envy got a beautiful wife. He's ready to give all the money to Dolph family. Rick Ross hasn't done nothing for Dolph.
But let's really think about this. Ross, with all his big talk and flashy lifestyle, might just be feeling a little lonely in that enormous mansion of his. Who's really winning here? Envy's out there with his family, hosting events for the community, and making his car shows affordable for everyday people. Meanwhile, Ross is flexing a mansion with, what, a White Castle down the road? Sure, that's a vibe if you're in the mood for sliders, but is that really the grand flex he thinks it is?
Am I missing something? This all started over a car show. I lose you, Envy, over car show, son.
All I'm saying is everybody going too far over car shows.
But, he got God for real.
That's convenient. That's very convenient.
Crazy. I would never let him shoot from them.
Charlamagne, 800-585-1051.
Right, that's what you talking about.
Mike, hello, Mike.
Come on now.
I gotta check us down.
It's honestly disappointing to watch. Here you have two hugely successful men who could be lifting each other up, collaborating, and setting an example for others. Instead, they're tearing each other down over car shows of all things. Bro, you're in your 40s.
Just let you know, to put Rick Ross back in his place, call back Pimpin' Curly.
50's not getting involved. 50's my brother. Like, we got business with each other. We have investments with each other. But alone, because I don't want him to be a part of it.
This can go serious.
This is some high school level drama. The cars, the shows, the beef, and none of that even matters anymore. It's just about who can throw the lowest blow, and frankly, it's starting to look embarrassing.
They come to the car show. If you're keeping it about the car show and cars, I'm with all the jokes.
Yeah, so did you tell him that the same way you're saying that to Envy?
Well, I didn't see, and he didn't.
It's a shame because both of these guys have the platform and influence to create something positive, but instead, we're here watching them turn a fun rivalry into a messy, ego-driven spectacle. Corny, man, real corny. But if you think this is corny, wait till you see what's next.
Hold on, I'm talking since 15. Before I had $1. She was making more money than me. So to insinuate that she was there for a check or she's good with Envy's check is a disrespect to me.
Okay, can I hear the clip?
You said you don't remember what he does drink Bex for breakfast. He doesn't know what
No, we do 4 shows a week.
Yeah, seriously. You said it on air. You said it on air.
All right, hold on. Well, let's hear it.
Everything was fantastic. He was a wonderful father. He never failed at that. I really didn't see any red signs.
He's like, damn, you lying as hell. You lying like a motherfucker for me. I appreciate you, queen.
Any red signs.
Wow.
And when I found out, I hired a divorce attorney.
Wow.
I even began to prep my kids. And
how do you prep your kid? Your daddy ain't shit.
Envy was ready to speak his piece.
Talk to him.
Envy.
He did it with the echo shit too. Like, yo, I ain't really sorry.
I felt like a letdown. I felt like a failure.
DJ Envy has more beefs on his plate than a steakhouse buffet, and this latest one, it's wild. Sure, we're used to seeing things heat up on the Breakfast Club, but this took things to a whole new level. First off, you have to feel for the guy getting dragged for your personal life, especially your marriage, on such a public platform. That's rough. No matter how thick-skinned you are, that's bound to sting. And when it comes to family, all bets are off. Talk about him all you want, but bringing his wife and kids into it, that's crossing a serious line. You can't really blame him for being heated over it.
Real joke when you talk about my wife.
All right, I apologize then.
You see what I'm saying? You can talk about me all day. You can make jokes of me, but when it comes about my wife and my family, it's a little disrespectful.
Envy would never do another joke about you.
You should know that. Because you got kids and a wife.
No, I feel you. I hear that. But you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day.
There is no but.
No, there has to be a but.
There is no but when it comes to wife and kids. There is no but. You can talk about me all you want, make fun of me all you want, but when it's wife and kids, there is no but.
Look at my Instagram comments. It's
I don't
full
look
of
at your
like,
Instagram
yo.
comments. I don't look at your shit. I don't talk about my wife and my kids. You can play with that. I don't play with that.
I don't play with that neither.
All right, then
but
you
at
should
the end
know
of the day.
it was respecting it. You should know that immediately.
Come on. You really thought that was a disrespectful
Yes, it was disrespectful.
maneuver?
Yes, yeah. When my wife heard it, she thought it was disrespectful too.
Really?
Absolutely disrespectful.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought we.
That said, let's not forget what kind of show he's on. The Breakfast Club is notorious for its no-holds-barred roasting. No one is safe, and if you're on a platform like that, you better be ready to take the heat you dish out. Charlemagne gets roasted on the daily, and he just laughs it off like it's part of the gig. But when the tables turn on Envy, suddenly it's a different story. It comes off a bit hypocritical, don't you think? You can't laugh at everyone else's drama and then lose it when the jokes come your way.
I thought it was like a jokey joke.
No,
thing.
It's a jokey thing when you joke about me.
All right.
You could joke about me.
I did not know that. I did not know that. We have
serious.
never had this conversation where you were like, your boundaries is here. Don't do this. Don't do this. We're having a conversation right now. You telling me, and now I understand. You telling us do not joke. You will not hear no more jokes about your family, about your kids, about you or nothing.
I talk about Charlemagne. I talk about y'all. I talk about you. But I'll never bring it to your wife and kids regardless.
Okay, cool. You've established that. We understand. We're claro. Boom.
It's funny how it's always all fun and games until you're the one in the spotlight. We're all here for the jokes until they get a little too close to home. As soon as it's personal, it's all, how dare you? Bro, you're in the public eye. This comes with the territory. But at the same time, I get it. No one wants their family dragged into some dumb jokes, especially when it's something as private as their marriage. That's a tough pill to swallow, no matter how public your persona is.
Paid with black women for a long time.
Oh, here we go again. 3 years late. All right, but who? But it's you. You dig your own grave.
I didn't do it.
It's your own grave. Every day you dig your own grave. Like you can't. You just don't leave well enough alone, bro.
Which is.
Yo, Envy just walked out
Okay.
here.
I mean, not for nothing. No, we
why?
doing a 5-city tour. So I mean, be sure to check that out. We got Brooklyn.
And then there's the apology. Awkward is an understatement. A half-hearted, I didn't know, my bad, doesn't really fly when everyone can see you throwing shots beforehand. It's like they're all just taking swings, and when it backfires, they suddenly claim it was all in good fun. And to make it worse, mocking the apology afterward just shows how little they really care. Meanwhile, Envy clearly wasn't laughing. Watching it all unfold felt like watching two kids on a playground, except one didn't get the memo about what's off limits.
Did I say something about you, Ed? Do I gotta come?
You might have.
I don't. You know what? No, you're just being chilling in the crib. But you know what? I apologize to you too.
Okay,
Anybody listening to this,
sorry.
if we've ever roasted you, I'm sorry.
My man with the camera right there, I apologize. I was
Yo,
gonna ask you
Victor,
what
I
that
love
was.
your hair. I call you Bruno Mars.
Well, you
I'm
know
sorry.
what?
Sorry, man.
Jesus said
Yo,
he was a
T,
good
I love
job.
you. I love you. I love you in Temple and all that.
I respect it, but
Okay.
everybody don't deserve apologies when y'all get it then. But I respect when you know, if you feel like you need to apologize.
yeah,
I apologize to Puff once.
Look,
I mean, that's the thing. We apologize.
Would you apologize
That's
to
the thing.
Puff
I mean, people don't have to accept your apology. But I mean, if you ask for it and then someone gives it to you and then you don't take it, then what the fuck you even asked for?
Yeah.
You feel me? But I feel him as a dude, as a married man. Like, I understand. Like, you know what I'm saying? When people come at your wife and your kids. I remember you telling me this a long time.
Now there's this whole new don't joke about my wife rule, and honestly, it's fair. Family should be off limits in any roast, no matter how public the platform is. But let's be real. If you're out here throwing stones, you have to expect some to come flying back your way. That's just how it goes.
It goes too far.
That's where all the bombs stop.
Now, we get the Caribbean thing, I should say. But this is a little ridiculous.
Why can't he experiment and he's rapping in Spanish? Check it out.
Todos están pendientes a ti, pero tú puesta pa mí.
What did Drake just say? Everybody wants to.
DJ Envy and his endless beefs never fail to crack me up. Like, seriously, bro, can we chill for just a second? He's always in the middle of some drama, and at this point, it's almost comical how over the top it gets. You'd think with his platform, reach, and money, he'd just brush off the smack talk and keep it moving. But nope. Envy always seems ready to dive headfirst into the drama, even when it feels completely unnecessary. Sometimes it's hard not to wonder if he's stirring the pot just to keep his name out there and people talking.
That's what he's saying the whole time?
Everybody wants you but your mind.
That whole long ass 35 seconds.
Different ways of saying it.
So he's just saying over and over, everybody wants you but your mind.
Then again, that's the entertainment world for you. Drama sells, and staying relevant often means keeping yourself in the headlines, even if it's for feuds and petty arguments. It's like there's this unspoken rule. If you're not caught up in some kind of beef, are you even part of the game? People love to watch the drama unfold, and they eat it up every time. What's wild is how the audience seems to root for your success while secretly hoping for your downfall. It's all about walking that razor-thin line between the two, and Envy knows it.
Right now. You saying that his butt? He said my butt is mine.
Your butt is. Where you get that
from?
So
he flipped the Michael Jackson line.
No, he didn't.
All right, and let's.
That's what Drum just said. Drum just said Drake said my butt is mine.
Now, don't get me wrong. Envy is a master at keeping people talking. He's been in the industry long enough to know exactly how to stir things up and stay relevant. The guy's no rookie when it comes to managing the chaos, but let's be honest, at some point all that drama has got to get exhausting. Who really has the time or energy for constant back and forth nonsense, especially when the people he's beefing with seem completely unbothered, like they're just living their best lives while Envy's out here keeping the feud alive. It makes you wonder if it's even worth it. Is all that energy spent on these petty fights actually paying off, or is it just draining him for no good reason? You'd think at some point he'd step back, let it go, and move on to bigger and better things. But of course, that's not Envy's style. He's in it for the long haul.